Thanks everybody for coming today. We I have a great Employee of the Week presentation today. But before I do that, I want to say thank you again to all the employees that are here with us today from Parks and Rec. Barbara Bach and her crew, they're the folks that make this place look like it looks for all the visitors and the hundreds of thousands of people that come out to the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta each year. And I was just talking to the employees, it takes a lot of hard work. It looks seamless when people come out to visit, but as a contractor, I can tell you it takes a lot of work, a lot of troubleshooting, and not just during the Balloon Fiesta, but all year round to make sure that this great taxpayer-owned facility stays great. So once again, let's give all of our employees a round of applause again. And it kind of leads into our Employee of the Week this week. When you have an event of this size, with the volume that you have of people, with the volume of business activity, and you have opportunities that are created. And our Employee of the Week this week is Teresa Alling, who's a supervisor with the Environmental Health Department's Consumer Health Division, Protection Division, and she saw an opportunity with this large-scale event to do something really great within our city. And I'm going to tell you the story. It's a fascinating story, and it involves a local businessman as well, who's really putting his heart out there to the community. Teresa is once again, she works for environmental health, and they do a lot of make sure that people have food safety out here. So when you come out to get something to eat, you've got something that it's a safe situation. But she also recognized that there's opportunity to help those less fortunate in our community. So Teresa worked with a local restaurateur, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, and our local homeless centers that feed the hungry in Albuquerque to turn their unfortunate situation into something very positive. During last year's Balloon Fiesta, Teresa noticed that large amounts of untouched food were going to waste at times when some of the events that were scheduled at the Balloon Fiesta were being canceled due to weather. In fact, we had an event last night here that was canceled, but we had people here, but there was leftover food because we didn't have as many people come because the balloon glow was canceled. So she saw an opportunity to turn that situation into an advantage, and she approached our local restaurateur, Jim Schumacher, about his observations. Mr. Schumacher, you may know, he owns Scarpa's Brick Oven Pizza, and he owns the Cooperage, and he's been around a long time. In fact, a little side story, when I came here to run track for the University of New Mexico, when I came out here on my recruiting trip as a young man in 1982, I had lunch at the Cooperage. And so I've known Jim for a long time. But he also runs the facilities here and does a lot of catering for large-scale events. So you can imagine with thousands of people, when an event's canceled, there's food left over. So Mr. Schumacher graciously agreed that there was a tremendous opportunity to have food donated to organizations that feed the hungry in our community. So Teresa undertook the process of making all the necessary arrangements for the donation at this year's Balloon Fiesta. She worked with Jennifer Garcia, the concessions manager for the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, who in turn garnered the support of organizations who sponsored the catering of this food. Jennifer also worked with Teresa in getting logistics coordinated, including provided special passes that will facilitate the food being picked up, because the folks from the providers need to be able to get into the balloon park. Teresa then met with Julie Anderson, the food sourcing liaison for Roadrunner Food Bank, and helped work out important food safety issues, such as making sure that the food was adequately controlled for temperature and making sure that it was contained for transport, so that we didn't try to do something good and then someone gets sick in the meantime. They also coordinated when food would be available and how it could be picked up and by whom. So then Danny Watley of Noonday Ministries was then designated as a point of contact for available food should the fiesta events be canceled, because this has to be fairly agile, because you never know if they're going to be canceled till the last minute sometimes. So while the Consumer Health Protection Division would normally be involved with such arrangements in a regulatory sense to oversee food handling and safety, we had partners from the private sector and from the nonprofit sector as well. And it's particularly exceptional when one of the staff of a division goes above and beyond, because that's once again not an easy thing to do. And the amount of work and the dedication that Teresa put in to this has really brought something new and good to the community out of an already great event. And I was asking the folks, what does this mean in terms of how many people were able to be fed? And the answer is thousands. So just during this Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, thousands of people have been fed, because we have a great city employee who took it upon herself to take a situation when events are canceled, to work with a local restaurateur who has a big heart, and work with our nonprofit community who are out there every day feeding the homeless. And something great happened in Albuquerque, and I've been mayor for 4 years, and I can tell you good things happen in our community when everybody gets together, and this is just another great example of that. So Teresa, congratulations to you. I'm going to have Mary Lou Leonard come up. She's our Director of Environmental Health, and she's going to say a few words, and then she's going to make another introduction for Jim, and then we're going to give Teresa her mug and her certificate. Come on up, Mary Lou.
Thank you, Mayor. I think you pretty much said it all, and I just want to outline that this was all about teamwork and great folks doing great things for the community. Balloon Fiesta means so much to our town and our community, and this is just one more great thing that has come out of it. And we have so many people to thank. Teresa for having the inspiration, Jim Schumacher from the Cooperage, who has just jumped in and said, yes, let's do it. And then our nonprofits, Roadrunner Food Bank, and Noonday Ministries. They've just been instrumental, and everybody came together. And I think that's just what's so neat about Albuquerque and so special. And we just really appreciate our team effort. And I'd like to turn the mic over to Jim Schumacher from the Cooperage. He's really, without him, it couldn't have happened. He's the guy with the food. So Jim, you want to say a few words?
You make me look important. You make me look important, but that's really not the case. The Balloon Museum Board of Directors gave us permission to let this happen with any food that was left over. And then the Environmental Health Department in Teresa made this really, really easy in conjunction with New Day Services, Ministries, and the Roadrunner Food Bank. So our part was really, really simple. It's for such a worthwhile cause, and the fact that the city made it so easy, we'll do it again next year. Thank you.
So as per usual, we have an Employee of the Week mug for you. We also have a certificate for Employee of the Week, and we also have a letter for your personnel file. And I just want to say, just to close this out, and so I want to give you that. It would be easy for a regulatory agency at the city to say, no, it's leftover food. This is just too hard. Maybe they can't keep. There's 1,000 reasons to say no to this, but we have people like Roadrunner and Noonday in our community that go out every day, and they have for year after year after year to make people's lives better. And it just gives me confidence in government to know that there's somebody, and there's a lot of them in the city of Albuquerque. This is not unique, but there are people within government that will go out of their way to break down barriers. Instead of finding ways to say no, find ways to say yes, and now good things are happening. So, way to go.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody.